You've probably spent hours searching for a mountain lion, only to come up empty. But in real life, that's exactly what this predator is built to do. Mountain lions are solitary ambush predators with incredible eyesight, very acute hearing, and the ability to sprint up to 15 miles per hour. So what makes the mountain lion such an effective ghost, and how can understanding its biology help you find one? Mountain lions, or Puma concolors, belong to the same genus as the cheetah. However, neither of these cats are technically considered big cats. Now, we could talk more about that later and how that actually could be wrong, but for the time being, we're going to say they both categorize as small cats. The mountain lion is the largest cat of the small cat species, and the main argument of why it's not a big cat is because it cannot roar. They can purr, but they can't roar. Puma concolor means cat of one color, which isn't exactly true. Their back and their sides are a tawny to a cinnamon color, with their chest and the underside being white. She might smell me. They have black markings on their muzzle, the tips of their tails, and on the back of their ears. Their sizes can vary. Since this is a female, she can get up to about 7 feet long and about 90 to 105 pounds. Males can get a bit bigger, being up to 8 feet long, 135 to 175 pounds, with the largest recorded male mountain lion being about 264 pounds. They have a lifespan of about 13 years. Mountain lions have the widest geographic range of any wild cat in the Western Hemisphere. They can be found from Canada all the way down to Chile, occupying mountains, semi-arid deserts, tropical forests, and swamps. Hunger often determines how far the cat will travel. The hungrier the cat, the farther it'll go. They patrol their home ranges, often searching in a zigzag pattern until they find prey. Mountain lions are obligate carnivores, meaning they only eat meat. They have powerful jaws and large canines that help them catch prey. They eat deer, elk, rabbits, rodents, and mice. Hiding here in the bushes, we got our 4-star mature mountain lion. We're going to try and age him up and see if we get him to 5. He's probably quite the specimen. They're able to jump 40 to 45 feet horizontally and leap 15 feet vertically, which is pretty insane. As I already said in the beginning, they can sprint up to 50 miles per hour, which makes sense since they're closely related to the cheetah. Mountain lions are also crepuscular, meaning they're most active during dawn and dusk. They're also a stalk and ambush predator, meaning they'll follow their prey until there's an opportune time to strike. I find this interesting. They often cache leftover prey beneath leaves, dirt, and debris to eat later. Mountain lions also have an array of senses. They have about 20 million olfactory receptors, meaning they have quite a good sense of smell, but relatively speaking, it's actually not all that great for a cat. But it's still better than the humans, which is about 5 million. But compared to a bloodhound, which is the dog with the most olfactory receptors, about 3 million, this sense of smell still isn't that high. Mountain lions have excellent low-light vision. Similar to our pupils, they expand and contract to either block out sun or take in more light. Mountain lions have an acute sense of hearing. They can detect sounds above the ultrasonic range, which is 20,000 hertz. And for reference, humans have the range of about 20 to 20,000 hertz, so right where ours cuts off, theirs will pick up. Each ear can rotate independently, meaning they can pinpoint exactly where the prey is at. They vocalize in a couple different ways, but they can't roar, they can purr, and they're famous for their piercing screams. Mountain lions breed throughout the year, which is interesting because a lot of other animals have their dedicated breeding seasons. Litters usually contain anywhere between 2 to 4 cubs, which are born in a den. Cubs are covered in spots, and they're born with blue eyes that actually turn yellow over time. Perfect. Mountain lions are mostly solitary animals, and adults come together primarily just to breed. Mountain lions will create scrapes similar to deer and use them to communicate territory and breeding. Mountain lions play a vital role in their ecosystems. They're a keystone species, meaning they're a predator that will help regulate prey populations. Without them, the ecosystem is not as healthy. We'll talk more about keystone species when we get to the gray wolf video, because they have a very fascinating history when it comes to that, especially within Yellowstone. I was able to sleep. It's been enough time. The year's changed. We're gonna go check on the status of our guy and see if he's become a 5-star or not. While we head over there, I'll share some of the fun facts that I found out about the mountain lions before we get into their conservation. Mountain lions hold the world record for the most amount of names. Like I said, mountain lions, cougars, pumas. One of my favorite is ghost cats. There's a lot of names. I think there's over 40 different names just for the mountain lion. They are the 4th largest cat in the world after the tiger, the lion, and the jaguar. I mentioned in the beginning, They're not technically considered big cats, and neither are cheetahs. You see, the more I looked into this, I found a website called panthera.org. Panthera is the family from which all big cats originally derived from, but there's 3 primary ways that they categorized a big cat. It was noise, size, and then actual genetic makeup. So going to noise, you heard me say in the beginning, people don't normally categorize mountain lions or cheetahs and several other cats into the big family group, even though they're big. Like I said, the mountain lion is the 4th largest cat in the world. But the snow leopard is categorized as one of the big cats, even though they also don't roar. Now, how a big cat roars like a lion or a tiger or any one of those cats, if they have what's called a hyrax bone, I believe that's what it's called. I'll fact check myself here in a minute. That's connected to a tendon in their chest, and when they want to roar, that tendon pulls it down, and it helps them pretty much just exhale really loud. So there's a debate there of, well, if it's based purely on sound, where does that kind of leave the snow leopard at? Going into size, it's that same thing. The mountain lion is not small. It's the 4th largest cat in the world. So where does that line get drawn there? And then there's the genetic makeup. All the sources I'll link, but I'll especially link the panthera.org. You guys can go read that article. It's interesting, kind of make your own conclusion on what you think the mountain lion is based off of everything that I've read. I would also categorize it as a big cat. It is one of the 7 recognized as a big cat along with the cheetah. Now you guys can start a debate in the comment section if you want. You can debate me about it. This is the research that I've done, but my understanding from the research that I did from the genetic standpoint was there was about 7 distinct different genuses. Then Puma and Panthera are different for several different reasons, but that is where the kind of caveat comes into. If we're going with the traditionalist sense, mountain lions and cheetahs are not considered big cats. If we're going in the more kind of modernist one, they are. So with all that out of the way, I'm going to wait and see if our friend shows up, see if he's a 5-star. If he's not, I'm going to try and get him there, and then we'll get a harvest on him, and then we'll go into their conservation history. Unfortunately, after aging up, he died. He turned back into a 1-star young, but I found this 1-star adult, so we're going to take him, and then we'll talk about talk a little bit about goodness. So I take him, we'll talk a little about their conservation. So here we go. See if he goes down. I was looking at the zones over there. It looks like none of those are actually going to get to 5. So I may need to put in some work, see if I can get that population to get up to that 5. I'll give them a little bit of time to expire peacefully. We'll head in that direction, and I'll talk a little bit about their conservation history. I didn't find a whole bunch. I also kind of ran out of time researching about it, but they do face a lot of threats from habitat loss, hunting, and poaching, as to be expected with quite a few of these animals that we talk about. Give him a little bit more time. I must not have made the best shot on him. Alright, so he's going to stay there. It's still spooked, so we're going to give him a little bit of time. Increasing conflicts with humans as we develop into their land is also causing some issues. But down in the description, I will put a link to a mountain lion organization that I found. If you are interested in learning more about their conservation, how you can help, that will be down in the link below. Alright, he is. So let's get him. This is the first mountain lion I've shot on. Okay, 65. I got a little nervous when I saw the orange. A poor shot. I should have aimed a little bit further forward, but I still got the left lung and an artery. Just took him a little longer to expire than I would have liked. Here he is. Going back, kind of that coloration. You see the yellow eyes, that brownish color, white underside, black tip tail. Yeah, just a pretty cat. So with that, we're going to get him sold. The mountain lion may be one of North America's most elusive predators, but it isn't the only animal shaped by these rugged environments. Mule deer have their own incredible adaptations for surviving in this terrain, and we take a closer look at what makes them so different in the next guide. Keep your eyes on the tree lines, and I'll see you over there.